Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another module in the program. Today, we're going to be talking about retargeting campaign setup. Okay, we're going to be talking about how you can basically retarget all of the traffic that have come to your website. They've engaged with your brand. They've seen you before. How you can start to make multiple touching points with them. Okay, so today's itinerary, we're going to be talking about the audiences that you need to consider, creating custom audiences, the timelines to target, and creating an evergreen targeting strategy. Okay, so here's the audiences that you need to consider. All right, so first things being first. The website. Okay. So when you're driving all this cold traffic to your funnel or to your website, whatever pages that they are landing on are pages that you can actually retarget that audience based off of, right? So let's just say if you're using ClickFunnels, you have a 4-step funnel. If you have, traffic coming directly to an opt-in page or directly to a VSL page, you can retarget all that traffic, right? Based off of that, basically that URL. So I would highly recommend just keeping it very, very simple, just because as an agency owner, you're probably not spending egregious amounts of money trying to send tons of traffic to your funnel. So I would just highly recommend just utilizing like the website or page views option, basically for people who have come to your website. Okay. So that being option number one. Second option is using your custom email list. Okay. So your custom email list, you can actually, utilize to retarget on Facebook Business Manager as well too. Obviously, if you're working with a community, you have been given a actual list of emails for ideal customers that your agency wants to work with. But as you go on and as you include the opt-in page into your agency funnel, you're going to be collecting more and more emails. So keep on updating that list, keep on uploading it to Facebook, and then utilize that to actually retarget your actual audience that you're trying to retarget. Okay. So next thing is the Instagram account. Okay. So if you have an agency Instagram account or even your own personal Instagram account, what you can do is you can retarget a lot of the people that follow it. Now, this is a good one if you know that your audience is basically like hyper optimized, okay? Hyper optimized for the audience that you're looking to target. So for me personally, like I have a lot of agency owners that follow me. So it does make sense to actually retarget people that are on my Instagram account, people who have engaged with me from my Instagram account, okay? If this is not the case for you, then don't worry about it. You don't want to waste money when it comes to retargeting, although your budget with retargeting isn't all that much, okay? And then the last thing that you want to consider retargeting is obviously a video. So if you have built proof of concept within one of your cold traffic campaigns, with one of your cold traffic video ads, you can basically retarget people who have watched a certain video for a certain length of time, which is really, really cool. So if you have one type of creative or a few creatives that are doing really well, they're getting a lot of engagement, the click-through rate's good, and it's actually the cause of a lot of your success right now for booking and calls, you can actually retarget based off of that as well too, okay? So the audiences you target will be based off of what sort of top of the funnel strategy that you're utilizing. All right. So the example, you aren't going to retarget traffic from your Facebook page if your Facebook page is barely in use or has friends and family there supporting you. Okay. You want to retarget traffic that it makes the most sense to. All right. So again, some of you may have a Facebook agency page or an Instagram agency page. No use retargeting that audience if it's not your ideal customer. Okay. So creating custom audiences, very, very simple. Go to your campaign and select add new. Go to custom audiences, select which audience you're trying to target. For this example, we're showing the website option. Fill in the given information that it requires. And for retention days, make it 180 days. Okay, so label this audience accordingly. So in terms of labeling, we always just call this either retargeting or bottom of the funnel. Okay, very, very simple. But this is realistically how easy it is to actually create like a custom audience on Facebook. Once you actually go to that option, it'll ask you what source. Always select your pixel that you're using. For events, we always choose all website visitors just because, again, you're not driving a ton of traffic to your agency funnel. For the most of you, you're probably spending anywhere from like $50 to maybe like $200 max per day on ads, unless your agency works in a way where you can handle so many clients on at a time, then that's totally fair. But for me personally, like we're realistically only ever spending like maximum $75 a day on ads. And that works really, really well for us. Okay. So again, select the pixel, select all website visitors, retention days. I know it says 30 here, but this is just basically the screenshot. Make sure you set it to 180 days. That's basically the max capacity that Facebook is allowed to like retarget on, and the maximum attribution window that they're able to handle. So 180 days is perfect, 6 months. So you'll be good to go from there. Okay. Then obviously audience name, label it with bottom of the funnel or retargeting. Just make sure that like you label it in a way that it makes sense when you're on your main Facebook Business Manager dashboard. You know exactly what that campaign is set off to do. Okay. So you can follow this for every single custom audience that you build. So again, it's very replicatable. So if it's not all website visitors, it's a different option. If you're trying to create a custom audience off like your email list or off your Instagram profile or a video, again, it's very, very simple to do. Okay. So for the most part, creating these custom audiences will look a little different based on what audience you're trying to create. So the best audiences to target, in my opinion, okay, these are the audiences that my agency personally uses. We've never really dipped our toes in any other audience, to be quite honest. Although the ones that I'm going over now, these are the ones that we personally use, the ones that I have, mentioned to you above in here, including all these ones. These are ones that I know work for other agency owners as well too. So I thought I'd mention them to you guys as well. Okay. But the ones that we personally use. All right. So when beginning to run ads, your best audiences are the following: website visitors, 180 days. IG engagement, 180 days. Again, take this into consideration if you have a good IG following with people that, you're trying to actually reach out to. They're your ideal prospect. And then, of course, video for 180 days as well, too. So your video, you want to select the best top of the funnel video that is actually driving the most results for you. So typically, this is a video that it's maybe getting booked calls right now, but the main thing is that it actually has a really good click-through rate and like really good CPMs. That to Facebook is basically telling you that your ad is actually doing a really good job of resonating with your audience. Okay. And if it has a really good click-through rate, that means that people are feeling compelled enough to click your ad and go to the next step. Okay. So that's when you can actually start to retarget people. You can stack these audiences in one audience. If one audience isn't large enough, again, this is kind of like the beauty of Facebook is it will tell you if an audience isn't large enough to target. So in order to kind of remove that from, that friction point, you can basically start to stack up these audiences, which is really good. And then you can begin separating these audiences and targeting these individual audiences as the audience size grows. Okay. So I believe with Facebook, I believe they need around like 1,000 people in your audience. So if you don't have around 1,000 people, you won't be able to utilize like that targeting audience quite yet. But once you actually get to that point, or if you stack these audiences together and it equates to 1,000, that's when you can begin using it. Okay. So retargeting budget, you should aim to spend 20% of what you're spending on the top of the funnel ads on your retargeting. So example of this is if you spend $50 a day on top of funnel ads, you would spend around $10 a day on retargeting. Okay. This is your entire budget for retargeting. All right. So if you maybe have three different audiences, three different ad sets within your retargeting, maybe you're targeting these three exactly: the website visitors, 180 days, Instagram engagement, and video. Maybe you're giving them each like $3 or $4 for retargeting, right? For each ad set. Now you can utilize like a CBO budget for your retargeting. This isn't too much of a big deal just because you're not really spending that much money on retargeting. Me personally, I personally will always go the ad set route for my budget. So I would just make sure that you're spending at least 20% of your budget. Whatever you're doing in top of funnel, spend 20% of that in retargeting. Okay. This is like a really good sweet spot that at least I found, to the point where you're not like over spending on retargeting, where your frequency is just going to like shoot super high. It's going to go through the roof. You want to be able to have like a good frequency that's anywhere from like 3 to maybe 6 or 7 max. Anything above that, like you're just making way too many touching points with people. They're going to start getting annoyed with you. Okay. Which will bring me to the next module where we talk about like your creatives and your copy and everything, where if you're running paid ads, the new ecosystem of Facebook is the fact of the matter is you need to be coming out with new creatives. Okay. But that's for the next module. So action steps for today, very simply, build out your retargeting campaigns. Okay. So right now you have your top of the funnel campaigns. You need to build out your retargeting campaigns. All right. Now, not a big deal if you haven't set up your campaigns quite yet, because obviously you can't really set them up without your ad creatives and your ad copy and your headlines and things like that. So that is going to come in the next modules. So now that you understand how to basically go about creating your campaigns, setting them up, breaking them down, your targeting, how to create custom audiences, look like audiences, all this stuff, that's kind of like the tedious meat and potatoes of everything. But realistically, the most important part of your ads is going to be the creative and the copy, and breaking down that even further into being able to communicate your offer, your guarantee, the way that you come off, the way that you're able to resonate and, compel your audience to actually like take action and move forward in the next step of your funnel, things like that. So I won't ramble on any further now that you have context to how to build out these campaigns. The next modules are going to be very, very important, because it's going to actually train you how to build out your creatives and copy. Okay, so I'll see you in the next modules. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know in the Discord if you guys have absolutely any questions around this. You can tag either me or my CMO, and we'll be able to answer all those questions for you. Okay, we'll see you in the next module, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.